Hey guys, this is the branch video vlog for 0.1.9.4, the guidepost one. So this one, usual thing, I go through step by step and then I just discuss bits ahead. So this level, it's not the main guard area. There's like a guard room, there's a guard post 2 in the game. This is just guard post 1 in the prologue element. So the level's been made. In terms of where it sits currently, it is here. I will change this at some point, but yeah, it currently sits right there. If I play, you'll be able to see it. Okay, so once inside, the main things I've got on the list, so the level, the door, the assets. A bunch of these assets you might recognise from other rooms. Some of them you might not, like the dumbbells, the defibrillator, the monitor, that almost like computer router thingamajig. They're different. They've not really been used, but I made the majority of them some time ago, except from the monitors. I've actually created like the keyboard and the two monitors are connected in one blueprint, which I'll show you in a minute. Might as well show you now actually. So what you see on those screens, if you look at the left one, the right one stays the same. Every time I press enter, you see it goes to the different rooms, and so you've got, that's the first room, whichever room. So look at the left, he swaps it for the left, and look at the top left, swaps it for the top left, and it just follows like a clockwork rotation. So they're not like live pictures. That's just me loading up each room, doing a screen grab, and then shrinking it to like crazy low pixels. So when I come into range, so it doesn't work now, I come into range, press enter on the keyboard, we can look through each one of the rooms. So a bit of a cool feature, but also critical to like the prologue element of the story, where there's an element where a guard notices something, and that's because there's a camera in one of the rooms. So this way it's not just like, how helpful the story writes itself sort of thing, like there's a loophole. It's just like, oh, the guard just magically knew what you were doing. So now, well, I should say security, even though it says guard post, the security magically know what you're doing. Now there's actual, you could see like a real world example how they actually discovered it, and that part of the story progressed in the prologue. So that's that bit. And then the last thing, I've color coded the left and right wall to match the back wall in the room. Not just this room, but I'm almost certain I've done every single room. Sure I have. Which you think, like, Nick, that doesn't really matter when you're doing orthographic. But remember, we discussed here in July, I'd look at altering the projection type. So I'll have a toggle where you can go from, well, I'll load it up for you if you didn't see the last video. It'll only take me a second. That one. Camera, perspective, play. Oh, I'm in the other room. Yeah, so essentially I'm going to have I'll talk to you in a minute after I've done this nonsense. There we go, here we go. We're in. So, yes, now you can see the purpose of like the side walls being coloured the same rather than just being white, because while they don't show up on orthographic, they will show up on perspective. And the zooming doesn't work with perspective at the moment, because since I suppose the second or third week, well, maybe like the first or second month into making the game last year, I changed it from perspective to orthographic. But yeah, all the functionality still works. So, nothing spawned this time. But yeah, all that stuff still works. It's just a different camera type. It's like it fades. I don't know if that's my monitor's HDR or whether that's weird. But yeah, similar to the kitchen level, where I actually have a hidden light round about here in the middle, very dim. So rather than being pitch black, you can kind of see what you're doing. You know, just enough to be able to kind of feel your way around. You know, feel like when you can scroll in again to get to work with perspective. So you can scroll in and go, oh, what's that in the corner? So obviously you can't really see the got no chance seeing the light switch, have you? But yeah, and I'll set up a defibrillator item, so you see that green flash and that red green flash at the top. So that and that, them two. Set it so they give up like a really dim sort of emitting light, just to make it look a bit cooler. I'll do the same for the stove in the kitchen. I'll show you what I mean. I can't remember if I showed you it beforehand, but it'll only take a second. If I don't get mauled. Come on. Kitchen. My own fault. If you're moving as you press E, sometimes it jumps ahead to where you're going or something, like it almost like skips ahead. Yeah, this is what I mean. It's definitely perspective doing that fade. That. So while that's okay, I'll do a couple more sprites so you can see the flames a bit better. But realistically, that would create a bit more light. Oh, look at that. I honestly, I think it might be the HDR, but it looks like it's doing it on the video as well. Like I've got like zone dimming and zone lighting, but for whatever reason, I'm not complaining. Looks pretty cool. Alright, well that's just another reason for perspective rather than orthographic. But yeah, that's something for the future, where for this branch, way ahead, July time, maybe June if I'm quick, but probably just July time, I'll have a toggle, and then that means the designing of things might take a little bit longer, because not only am I having to look at like an orthographic angle, but I'm also got to look how does it look if someone looks from like a perspective angle. So it's just a bit of extra check. But yeah, that's it. I've gone through these branches pretty quick, to be honest. I had guard post down as May. I had lighting down as May. Definitely only going to be able to get lighting done. I've got to make new assets for these two, and that one, and that one. So yeah, there's no chance they're going to get done before the holiday in May. But lighting too, definitely, and that'll really start making it stand out. Certainly here, like rectangle lights, putting lights into the world, into the corridor, the hallway. I don't know if you call it a hallway when it's a spaceship. The bridge. No, the bridge is further up in the game. The bridge is like Act 2, Act 3. But yeah, you know what I mean. So, lighting next. This is guard post done. Looking forward to changing all to perspective. Seeing what coolness we can get with that and have a toggleable option. So if people want to play old school 2.5D, like I always think of Teenage Ninja Mutant Turtles or Metal Slug, they want to play it like that, they can do. If you want to play, I don't know, there's more, I haven't really played them, but I think like Octa Traveler, I probably said that name wrong, Octopath Traveler, whatever that game's called, that's got like a perspective on a 2.5D movement, a bit like what we're seeing here. So, like that. So, yeah, you'll be able to toggle between the two. That'll be nice to add in. I think that's pretty much everything. Apart from that, I've just been tidying bits and pieces up. I just shrank the width of the kitchen. I might increase it again going forward, but we'll see. But yeah, thank you for your time, and it was a bit of a quick one really. I'll just load it back up so I can have one last look in case you're interested. So, I realise though, I haven't even shown you the bloody blueprint, have I? I'll show you it quickly. So on the left, we've got monitor 1, monitor 2, the box collision connected to the keyboard. Looks like that, but then we can rearrange it in the world. Haven't touched the box, probably could shrink it. There are 7 sprites, 7 paper sprites for 7 different PC screens. On begin play, each one gets fed uniquely into the array. When you're in range, you're in range. When you're out of range, you're out of range. And when you're in range and you press enter, set the sprite to the first to the next item in the array. -1 because it kind of, it's almost like it has like an end thing. Like it's almost like it's in C++. There's like a null. There's like a null entry at the end, or like a slash or something, and that lets it know when the array's ended. Something like that. But essentially it creates 1 extra value, so that's why there's a -1. It just knocks, because you see there's only 7, but it's counting 0 to 6, which is 7, plus 7, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's 8. So it's pulling in a blank. So this is just making it not count to 7. It's going 0 to 6, then 0 to 6 again. Does that bounces through it. And then at the end, if increment is greater than or less than 6, remember it's 0 to 6, so less than 6, true, set it to 0. So set it to A. Let's put on, I can't remember what that, yeah, set it to A. And if not, then go B, C, D, E, F, G, and then, okay, well, we're at 6 now, 0 to 6, and then go back to 8, and it just goes through the same thing, and it just does that. Obviously, it doesn't have the uniques again, but that's just like a visual representation of it going A to G, 0 to 6. That's it, simple as that. It's just an actor blueprint, chucked in a couple of sprites, a box, dumped in the sprite variables here, create an array, dump it into the array, and then just have an iterative incremental loop, like a plus there, and that's it, job done. And that's that. Thank you for your time, and I'll probably get the lighting. Yeah, I'll get the lighting branch out before I go on holiday. We could see all the rooms, see how cool it looks. Yeah, see you later.